And we are now joined by the right hand pitcher on the Altoona Curve, Aaron Shortridge. Aaron, you're from Napa. It's great to catch up, man. How are things going for you at the moment?
Um, Great, man. I'm playing baseball. I'm 26 years old, and um, I'm I'm really just thankful for the things I've been able to do, and the fact that I'm still here is every day is another blessing to just keep doing this. So yeah, just thankful, and um, I'll keep doing it till they rip it out my hand.
That's good to hear, man. Let's get right into it. I assume you had reported the spring training with the big club, the Pittsburgh Pirates, who are your team that you guys have, your club. What was that like? Obviously the Pirates have been a team that kind of shocked people here at the beginning of the season. What was it like being at spring training with those guys?
I wasn't invited to big league
Oh,
spring
you
training.
were?
I'm a I'm I'm a I was in a part of a minor league camp this year.
What was that like then? So what does minor league spring training look like? Because I really don't know what that looks like, and take me through that.
Um, it's the same goals as the big leagues. I haven't experienced the big league spring training, so I can't really give a great comparison, but um you're getting ready to play a lot of baseball for the whole season. For a pitcher, you're getting slowly built up. Personally, I'm trying to just slowly ease my body into moving really fast and executing pitches and being able to do my job. That's the way I see it. And we have the support of a lot of coaches and player development staff and technology to get us ready to go. So that's what spring training looks like.
And then off of that, so obviously during the week, you sometimes you have a two-start week depending on if you play Monday and then Saturday, pitch again Monday, Saturday, Tuesday, Sunday. But what do you do to build up during a start? Like, is there film that you do? Do you obviously I assume you threw one or two bullpen sessions. What do you do before a start?
I really try to make sure I'm sleeping well, staying hydrated, and eating well. Um, and Most importantly, those days in between starts, just being locked in catch play. Um, Not a single throw I'm taking off. I'm really locked in, trying to make sure all my shapes are good. Um, and Watching video the day after of the previous start. And then in the minor leagues, we play 6 game series against other organizations. So I normally have a lot of time to watch the um, the lineup that I'm facing throughout the week. So I don't watch a lot of video late in the minor leagues because it's right there in front of me. Um, and if I want a different look, I'll go into the clubhouse and watch it live on the broadcast angle. So it's kind of the same thing as watching film, but um, yeah, most importantly, sleeping well, staying hydrated, and eating well, and just keeping my body in a good place to be able to do the job.
Interesting. So obviously the minor leagues are, it's not the major leagues yet. What is it, something about the major minor leagues that people really may not understand? You kind of just hit on the 6 games series during a whole week, which is crazy. What are some things about the minor leagues that people may not understand about it?
Um, well, I think um, I think the minor leagues and the big leagues and even little league, it is all the same game. You're just We're just bigger, stronger, a bit smarter, and there's more at stake. So it's really good competition, um, especially once you get up into the double A, triple A range. And obviously, the big leagues is the very top of baseball. But um, Something that I think there's a conception that the minor leagues is really like terrible um in regards to like travel and bus rides, and you just don't get taken care of. But thanks to a lot of work that the Major League Players Association has done, we have it so much better now than we used to. I didn't ever. I got into professional baseball in 2018, and since then a lot of things have changed. But um, we've got a little salary increase. It's still not quite um, livable, but at least you can pocket some money. We have housing provided for us during the season, and it makes it a lot easier to focus on um, you know what we are all trying to do, which is go to the big leagues and you know make it happen. Um, Not to say it's not a grind. We're playing baseball every day. We have Mondays off. Um, we have 6 game series. If I'm being honest with you, I think it's kind of ridiculous the way it's laid out, because it's nothing like the big leagues. There's 3 game series, and then you're flying somewhere else, and there's sometimes not an off day for a whole month. And it's like, why do I have a Monday off every week? I don't want that. Like, I want to, if I'm doing this to go to the big leagues or whatever, I also love my job. I love to come to the field every day, and I don't like Mondays off, man. I like to go to the field.
That makes a lot of sense, Aaron. What is it that you do to really progress your game? Because obviously, when you were here in town at Vintage, you were a stud of a player, and I'm sure I haven't watched you since. But what in your game has really changed since you left town?
Well, I don't play shortstop anymore.
Yeah,
And I don't, I mean, I really did like playing shortstop. That's my favorite thing to do in baseball. I also am a good pitcher, and I like to pitch. Um, but in college, that's kind of where I started my pitching career, um, essentially. And it is a daily, you're playing catch, and you're trying to, you know, you, I've developed pitches over time, um, and I've developed feel for them. It's all about consistency and doing things, repeating things, repeating a delivery, um, moving your body efficiently. Um, all things I'm really focusing on when I play catch, because that's where I get the most focused work in on my craft as a pitcher. Obviously, I do a lot of like lifting and preventative injury stuff, which is the lifting. I run a lot, and then eat, sleep, and hydration. All of that is really important. So um, it's an everyday sharpening of the sword, like, um, and it's hard to master. Um, that's what the minor leagues is for, to kind of get you used to, or help you to figure out how to be the best version of yourself every time you're handed the ball, and to get the job done to help your team win. That's what the job of a pitcher is. My job as a starting pitcher is to go, the way I view it is to go at least 6 innings and give up less than 3 runs, because that gives my team a chance to win the game. So that's my goal. I try to keep it simple. Um, and yeah, got to keep it simple. It's the same game. When we played little league, it wasn't, oh, I gotta spin the ball at 5,000 RPMs and all that. No, it was try to hit the ball hard, try to throw strikes and throw it hard, make plays and have fun. And it's the same game. So
It,
yeah.
that's interesting. So going through the minors, does the speed of the game speed up a little bit, like as you go up each level? Because now you're double A, I assume it has gotten a little faster. Because, or take me through that. Is it like you have to execute better pitches now? Like, what is it? Is it the game moving a little faster each time you get a promotion?
Um, the game, I think the game definitely, like, the game can speed up on you. Like, the higher you get, the better the hitters are, the better the pitchers are. And it's a game of execution. Like, every mistake I make, usually I get punished for it. So I'm trying to execute pitches. And if I execute all of my pitches and a really good hitter hits one over the fence, I did everything I could, everything in my control, and executed. And that's baseball. That's life. You can do everything perfect, and still get beat. And that's just the way it goes. That's why baseball is so cool. It's the best metaphor for life there is. But yeah, things definitely speed up on you. I mean, you make a mistake and if you pout or you take one pitch off, or you give a little less edge, or you aren't in the moment, you're gonna finish an inning and look back at the scoreboard and you'd be like, what the hell just happened? Like, how did that even happen? It happened so quick. And the way to avoid it is to make good pitches and just do not falter when things don't go wrong. When stuff hits the fan, um, make the next pitch, execute the pitch, and don't quit, don't give up.
Interesting. And so obviously this year the pitch clock is new to the major leagues. It's been something that's been in the minor leagues for a few years now, I think. Have you guys had to deal with that? And what was the adjustment like initially when you had to deal with it?
Um, I've always pitched with a lot of pace and urgency, so I was pretty excited about it. Like, I'm I basically, before the pitch clock was introduced, I wasn't the type of pitcher that even needed it. Like, if you had a typical shorty start, I was going pretty deep into the game, and it was probably under 2 hours or just over 2 hours of a game. And that's what we're shooting for, is quick games, for fans and us, um, sense of urgency. So I don't really mind it, but that there's a pitch clock now and there are rules, and like there are situations where you want to slow the game down, and so that you can make a pitch and or have some thought. And I've found now that, like, in those situations, sometimes you can't have that visit, and you can't have that time to give yourself a moment to do things. And I know a lot of other pitchers deal with that, and it's definitely changed the game a lot. And you'll have, like, you're on the mound, there's a pitch clock on the left side and the right side, kind of behind the on deck circles of both dugouts. Hitters will stand in front of them so you can't see them. Um, it's a different type of baseball, man. The game has changed a lot, a lot. It's a lot different than it used to be. I've made the adjustments and do my best, but sometimes you get rushed. I'm a pitcher of pace, and that thing makes me have to get on my horse a little bit. So, you know, I'm not trying to complain about it, but um it's definitely something, man.
What's some advice you'd have to the major leaguers who are still trying to adjust to it? Because just last night in the Giants game, Josh Hader got hit with a ball which then led to a bases loaded walk to load up the bases, and then the Giants went on a walk-off walk. What type of what would you say to to help these guys adjust to it?
I mean, you have to. There's no choice. Like you have to honestly, like, make a pitch, it's over, and get on the rubber immediately. Just get back on the rubber as fast as you can. Because I mean, for me, if I'm on the rubber, it's like, okay, there's time. But if I'm like late to the rubber, then I don't even have a chance to get set and like, be mentally ready to go. It moves quick. So I would say get ahead of it. You try to get ahead of the clock. Don't let the clock run you, run the clock. You know what I mean?
That's an interesting saying. So now let's pivot back to your time here in Napa. How did your time at Vintage and in the Vintage baseball program, and then at not playing with Napa Valley Baseball Club, how did all those guys help you get to where you are today? Because obviously you're a great representation of our town, you know, with baseball. How did they all help you get to this point?
Um, well, coaches have a massive impact on players. And they always have in my baseball career. From the start, um, you know, it's really just it's more than just being a better player. It's being a better person, man, and it's character. And I learned a lot of character, um, especially in Napa. Um, I'd say my biggest mentor was Rich Anderson at Vintage. Rich Anderson, Mark Lundeen, and Billy Smith. They believed in me for one, but they're just solid human beings, and you know they were the type of guys who, there's always less talented players on a team, um, and there's always that, um, and then there's the good players, and there's so much value in those less talented players and the example that they set. And I think of Rich Anderson, and I think of um, how well he lifted up those players. These are some of my friends that I'm still in touch with. They weren't that good, but they inspired me to work harder because they were riding the bench, but giving everything they had to just improve their game. And that's showing up in their life out of baseball. They've been out of baseball for years now, but they're kicking butt in their job and in their life, and um they're special. They have character. And um Rich Anderson was just so good about that. And it wasn't, you know, he used baseball as a tool um to grow us as men. And I've stuck, I mean, first to serve, last to be served is like one quote that he would always say. And my God, I've thought about getting it tattooed on me. I don't have any tattoos, but like, that's what he's all about. First to serve, last to be served, lead by example, um, carry yourself in a way that, um, is, it's just the right way of doing things. And, don't step on people, don't kick people when they're down. Don't be a bully. Just, push yourself to your limits, not only physically, athletically, um, but also as a human being. Um, Pick up the people around you. Um, and I mean, I've brought those things with me everywhere I've gone. And so far it's done me well. And I can think of so many players and teammates I've had, guys that I didn't even play with that played under Rich Anderson and Mark Lundeen and Billy that were that are just studs because they were impacted. And like I just feel lucky that I got to come up through that and be exposed to that level of leadership and commitment and just human respect, man. I'm so lucky.
You know, and another thing too, Aaron, I want to point out, you guys were incredibly good when I was a junior, when you were a senior. I mean, wow, we were I was on the Napa High side of that. You guys were incredible that year. Just when we faced you, it was something special. I've got to say from my end now that I look back on it, as since I still cover high school baseball here in town, what you guys had in 2015, I think it was pretty incredible. You guys were a really good team, and like you said, a lot of those guys aren't playing ball anymore, but they were really talented players at the time, and Rich did a great job. I'm sure that is something that you still look back on too.
Yeah, I was actually looking at the photo of that team holding up the MEL banner or whatever you call it,
Mm-hmm.
pennant. Um, and I was just like, wow, that was cool. We did that. And Napa High was always kicking our butt. Vacaville was always kicking our butt, and we kicked their butts that year. So um, that was a lot of fun. We had a ton of fun on that team. All of those guys, good dudes. And I think a lot of us are doing well. And Rich was a huge part of that. Billy was a huge part of that. Mark Lundeen, a huge part of that. And um, I mean, I was talking to my pitching coach here with the Curve, Cale Johnson, just about baseball. And I asked him like, "What's your best baseball experience?" And he said, "High school baseball," because I mean, those are your friends before you even get there. Like, and then you get close, and um, everybody wants, not everybody, but a lot of guys want to go to the next level and play, and play for as long as they can. Baseball's awesome. But high school baseball special. Like you're you're not quite in the real world yet, but you're getting prepared and being a part of a team. It doesn't even have to be baseball. It could be football, basketball, badminton, tennis, whatever. You're getting ready to be a part of society and be a force in the world. And um, that was a cool way to end my high school career with that group and win some things. We got our butts kicked by Elk Grove for the third year in a row in playoffs, but thanks to Nick Madrigal and Rowdy Telez and Dylan Carls, a lot of big leaguers were on that team. If any of those names sound familiar,
Mm-hmm.
they were really good. But yeah, I'm thankful for those memories and those guys. We had a lot of fun, and yeah,
Speak
a lot of good memories.
a few more things here before we end here. Speaking of the big leaguers, have you had any interactions with the Pirates pitchers like David Bednar, Mitch Keller? These guys that are kind of catching everybody off guard here. I mean, if you have, what was it like? Like, take me through that.
I've definitely been able to watch them at the complex. I don't know too many, specifically Bednar and Mitch Keller. I don't know them well. I know that Mitch Keller is a great dude. Like when I was first drafted, I was in like an ice or like a hot tub before a work day, and he came in. He wasn't in the big leagues yet. He was, double A, triple A. climbing the ladder right about where I'm at right now, and introduced himself. I knew who he was before he did, but introduced himself, asked me about me. We talked some baseball. He was a great dude, and it has been so cool to watch him kind of blossom now, because he struggled. Like, he made it to the big leagues. That's an incredible achievement for one. But he struggled, and now, and I mean, to the point where a lot of people were writing him off. And now he is one of the best pitchers in the game, and I'm so happy for him. I love to watch him pitch, um, and he's a great guy. So, like, who wouldn't want to root for that? Um, Bednar, I don't know him at all, but he is disgusting. He is so good. He's got ridiculous stuff. Um, he got to play on Team USA. That was really cool. And then, yeah, man, I they're there for a reason, man. They're really good, and they're good dudes. So,
Speaking of the Pirates as a whole, what have you noticed from their vantage point to where they got off to the fast start and really surprised a lot of people? Like, what is it that maybe you noticed that people like you and people like me didn't notice there when they got off to the hot start, and they're still in it with a chance to win the NL Central? I mean, this is something that, from your vantage point, you have to be thrilled about, because postseason baseball could be coming to your team's organization. I mean, that is awesome at the big league level that it could possibly happen.
yeah, I mean, it was fun to watch the hot start for sure. And yeah, we're all fired up about it. Nobody expected it. The biggest thing I noticed was there was just a culture of winning and a culture of having fun up there. I wasn't there. I don't know anything about it. And I wasn't, I'm insignificant in that picture, but they were, I mean, that's good baseball, man. And then we've at the top, the Cruzy went down. Velasquez, there's been some hard knocks to the club. But I mean, I watch these games and I still see a fight. I still see a desire, and I see that same culture. But I mean, that is the top of baseball, and it is extremely hard to win at that level. And we're hanging around, or they're hanging around. And I'm seeing a lot of guys that I played with last year get put on the big league club and do well. And seeing them debut and be a part of it has been really cool. They earned it. I mean, and I can't wait to pick their brains on what it's like up there. And just, yeah, it's cool. I'm doing my best right now to prepare myself to help them win if I get that opportunity. Whatever team I am on, that is my goal, is to help us win. So, yeah, that's what I think about. I try to control the things I can control, and root for the Pirates. They drafted me, man. They gave me the opportunity that I always wanted. So here I am.
Well, Aaron, thank you so much for your time today. This has been a true blast to catch up with you. Thank you so much.
Kyle, thank you for the time, man. Thanks for reaching out. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, I enjoyed talking to you.